Join me as I dive into the enigma of the mysterious woman with the alabaster jar and try to uncover her identity. In the Bible, there's a story that has fascinated scholars and theologians for centuries, the story of the woman with the alabaster jar. This mysterious figure appears in the Gospels of Matthew, Mark, and Luke, where she is described as anointing Jesus' head or feet with precious perfume, depending on the account. But who is this woman, and what drove her to perform such a profound act of devotion? One of the biggest misconceptions about the woman with the alabaster jar is that she's often confused with Mary Magdalene, one of Jesus' closest followers. However, the Bible never explicitly identifies the two as the same person. In fact, Mary Magdalene is only mentioned by name in the Gospel of Luke, where she's described as one of the women who supported Jesus' ministry financially. Another debate surrounding the woman's identity stems from the different accounts of her story. In Matthew's Gospel, she's described as an unknown woman who anoints Jesus' head, while in Mark's Gospel, she's said to have anointed his feet. Luke's account is perhaps the most detailed, where he describes her as a sinner who weeps at Jesus' feet and dries them with her hair. So, which account is correct, and what can we learn from these discrepancies? Despite these debates, one thing is clear: the woman's actions were seen as radical and countercultural in her time. In a society where women were often marginalized and relegated to the fringes, she broke free from convention and demonstrated her devotion to Jesus in a way that was both bold and beautiful. Moving beyond the biblical account, let's explore the historical and cultural context of the alabaster jar. In ancient times, alabaster jars were prized for their beauty and durability, often used to store expensive perfumes and oils. The fact that the woman used such a valuable item to anoint Jesus speaks to the depth of her commitment to him. But what about the symbolism of the anointing itself? Was it simply an act of worship, or did it hold deeper significance? In many ancient cultures, anointing was a symbol of consecration or coronation, marking the person being anointed as set apart for a specific purpose. Could it be that the woman was, in effect, anointing Jesus as the Messiah, recognizing his divine authority and purpose? Whatever the case, her actions sparked a chain of events that would ultimately lead to Jesus' betrayal and crucifixion. The woman's bravery in the face of public scrutiny is another aspect of her story that deserves attention. In a culture where women were often seen as inferior, she took a huge risk by approaching Jesus publicly and performing such an intimate act. And yet, her actions were met with rebuke by the disciples, who saw her as wasteful and misguided. But Jesus saw something in her that they didn't: faith, devotion, and a willingness to take risks for the sake of love. In the end, the woman's actions spoke louder than any words could. She didn't need to say anything; her sacrifice and devotion said it all. And in doing so, she left us with a powerful legacy, one that challenges us to rethink our own commitment to our faith and to Jesus. So what can we learn from this enigmatic figure, and how can we apply her bravery and devotion to our own lives? In conclusion, the story of the woman with the alabaster jar is one that continues to intrigue and inspire us to this day. From its biblical context to its cultural and historical significance, every aspect of her story offers us a window into the heart of God. By understanding her story in a broader spiritual context, we can gain a deeper appreciation for the complexities of faith and the power of devotion. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the enigma of the woman with the alabaster jar. If you have any thoughts or insights about this fascinating story, be sure to share them in the comments below. And if you're interested in exploring more biblical figures, be sure to check out our next video, where we'll delve into the life and legacy of another fascinating character.